Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2020 Netflix original show, Sweet Home. This is a Korean horror show, 10 episodes long, about an hour-ish long per episode. It's based off of some webtoons series that's very popular in Asia. I think it's of the same name. I know some of the characters are a little different than the comics from what I read because I don't really know anything about it. I do love that Sweet Home is a song that was featured a lot within this show, but also Warriors by Imagine Dragons was it like in like I want to say a good 6 out of the 10 episodes. Hysterical because it makes perfect sense to implement that kind of a song, and also why I'm sitting down with our beautiful Mattel Indominus Rex. It's because he was heavily featured. She was heavily featured within Sweet Home. One of the little boy, had this, and they kept playing with it. They ripped one of her legs off at one point. That killed my soul because this is a very beautifully crafted figure. But she was a very big, she was a plot point throughout most of it, which I found hysterical because I actually have her, so it was kind of cool. Now, she's just going to stay with us as we talk. So this was a very awesome. This was a very interesting show that was awesome. I did not have any expectations. It's just a Korean horror film, Korean horror show, so I knew it was going to be good because I haven't seen a bad Korean horror film, to be completely honest. And this was a very interesting take on an apocalypse because it's not a zombie disease, it's a monster disease. But it's not even a disease. It's not really a virus. Everyone is capable of being cursed, and if you succumb to the monster curse, the monsterification puts you into a monster form of your deepest desire. Very cool. So it's this apartment complex called Green Home Apartments. Little ran down, but there's like a supermarket in it, and a bunch of different people who really haven't met each other are now trapped inside because the management and the security guards trapped everybody inside, basically to not let anybody out because there's monsters. And then once they figure out who's infected, who's not, they get quarantine each other. But this story focuses kind of on the main character, Cha Hwan-soo, who is this very suicidal kid. He plans on killing himself on August 25th. This takes place in 2020. It was kind of entertaining how the global pandemic happened prior to this being released. And then it was released, and it's like, oh, well, look at that. Pandemic versus apocalypse of a monsterification. Pretty fun. So we get his backstory of how he was assaulted and bullied and beaten to the crap out of him, things like that. But he does become infected at some point, and he realizes that he now has a desire to live instead of to die. So that's why his monsterification isn't taking full control over him. He still has control because he's not letting the monster take control anymore, which is very, similar to how he couldn't, defend himself really from bullies. So it's now a second chance kind of a thing. A lot of drama, a lot of people dying, gore galore, different types of monsters all over the place. It was incredible seeing all these different things come together. Of course, you have to read the subtitles, and there's a lot that I missed, but it's still a very action-packed drama show. And that's the other key factor. It's a drama. So like the first 4 episodes are like big on monsters, and then it like kind of trickles down more to the drama, and then at the end it's more of the monsters and stuff. And then a monster who can do what Hwan-soo does, and not succumb to the monsterification, infiltrates the apartment with a gangster squad of people and convinces Hwan-soo that they're humans that he's trying to protect. They are going to turn on him, and they start to turn on him, and then the monster then just kills everybody. Not kills everybody, most people. But then Hwan-soo winds up beating the crap out of the new monster, and then the government's involved trying to see who can succumb the golden hour, who can succumb the 15-day, period, and study them to see if there's a cure for the curse. This was really fun. It was fast. It was slow at points, but it made sense why it was slow at points. There was a lot of great graphics, but then some scenes were like really cheesy graphics. So it's just a matter of immersing yourself in a different type of apocalyptic setting, and I really enjoyed that because it was different. Go watch it, Sweet Home, on Netflix right now. 10 episodes long. I hope there's a season 2. I really hope there's season 2. Oh, fun fact. This was a lot of the scenes filmed in this apartment complex were the same apartment apartment complex filmed Alive, which is another Korean horror film, and we talked about that. So that's another pretty cool thing. Seoul, South Korea is just wonderful when it comes to horror films. I cannot wait for more. Mucho mahalo.